Welcome back to my channel. Today's story is titled, I Found My Son Barely Alive in a Ditch. His last words revealed who did it. It's a story about a parent's worst nightmare, courage, and a shocking truth that nobody expected. It was just past sunset when I received the call that would change my life forever. My heart had been uneasy all day, a subtle feeling I had ignored. When I reached the edge of the neighborhood park, I found my worst fears staring back at me. My 12-year-old son Liam was lying in a shallow ditch, his clothes torn and dirt smeared across his face. Blood trickled from a gash on his forehead. He was barely conscious, barely breathing, and every second felt like an eternity. I dropped to my knees, my hands trembling as I checked his pulse. "Liam, can you hear me?" I shouted, panic overtaking every rational thought. His eyes fluttered open, glazed with pain, and he whispered almost inaudibly, "Dad, it was Tommy." My blood ran cold. Tommy was one of Liam's closest friends, or at least he had been. The name echoed in my mind as I scooped Liam into my arms and ran toward the car, praying he would hold on. The drive to the hospital felt like a nightmare stretching on forever. I kept talking to him, urging him to stay awake, promising I wouldn't let anything happen to him. At the emergency room, doctors rushed him inside while I stood frozen in the hallway, replaying his words over and over. Tommy. The idea seemed impossible, yet terrifyingly real. How could his best friend do this? Hours later, the doctor emerged. "He's stable for now," she said, her voice gentle but firm. "The injuries are severe, but he's alive. We'll need to monitor him closely." I thanked her, barely able to breathe, and finally let myself collapse into the chair outside his room. My son was alive, but the nightmare was far from over. Over the next few days, I stayed by Liam's side, holding his hand and watching him slowly regain strength. He was quiet, almost withdrawn, as if the trauma had locked away his words. Finally, after a sleepless night, he looked at me and said, "Dad." I remember he pushed me. I didn't see why. Tears streamed down my face. I asked him everything calmly, trying not to frighten him further. "Who pushed you, Liam?" I asked gently. He repeated the name. Tommy. I couldn't believe it. Tommy. My mind raced, trying to reconcile the boy I thought I knew with the one who had hurt my son. I remembered the small arguments Liam had mentioned about toys, games, and school projects, but nothing had ever suggested something this violent. Something deeper had been brewing, something I hadn't noticed. Determined to find answers, I went to Liam's school. Teachers were cooperative but careful. They spoke in hushed tones about the incident, revealing only that Tommy had been acting strangely in the days leading up to the attack. Whispers of jealousy, arguments, and small acts of bullying came together to form a chilling picture. But no one expected it would escalate into this. I needed proof. I knew I couldn't rely solely on my son's memory. I had to understand exactly what happened. I retraced the path Liam took that afternoon, looking for clues, talking to anyone who might have seen something. And then I found it. A torn piece of a hoodie snagged on a tree branch, the same brand Tommy wore. My hand shook as I held it. When I returned home, I called Tommy's parents. They were shocked, insisting their son would never. But I could hear the hesitation in their voices. Something had been hidden, something they hadn't noticed or wanted to ignore. The police became involved soon after, and the investigation uncovered the truth. Tommy had been feeling left out, unnoticed, and angry about being blamed for small things at school. That anger had built up until it boiled over into something dangerous. The authorities confirmed what Liam had said. It was Tommy who pushed him into the ditch. It hadn't been premeditated, but the result was nearly fatal. I spent the night after the police interview sitting by Liam's bed, holding his hand, and thanking him for being brave enough to tell me. I thought about how fragile life can be, how trust can shatter in a single moment, and how children sometimes hide feelings that grow too strong to control. Liam recovered, but the scars of that day will remain with both of us forever. We learned that even in the safest places, danger can hide in the most unexpected faces. And sometimes the last words of someone we love reveal the truth we never imagined we would hear. As a parent, I learned to really listen to the small signs. And as a human being, I learned the importance of confronting the truth, no matter how painful. Liam survived, but the lesson was unforgettable. Vigilance, care, and love are not just words, they are lifelines. Thank you for watching. If this story touched you, remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more stories of survival, courage, and the unexpected truths of life. And always watch over the ones you love. Sometimes their last words may be the key to saving them. Until next time, stay safe and cherish every moment with your loved ones.